Okay, welcome to Dark Souls Remastered. So, let's be a lady, because why not? The class... Well, I've not been 100% sure on this, really. I think I'm going to go with Knight. Because I don't think I've actually had a proper playthrough of the first Dark Souls as a Knight. I'm tempted to be a Sorcerer, because that's... the class I was when I beat the game for the first time, so that will be kind of fun. But I think we'll go with Knight for a change and see how that goes. Now the gift is always worth getting the Master Key, because it means you can do a few handy little things early on in the game. Average is fine, who cares? Yeah, let's go with the default one. Well, she's going to be hollow half the time anyway, it doesn't really make much difference, but yeah, alright, let's go for braids. And... yeah, let's be blonde. Or... yeah, fuck it, let's be blonde. Right, I think we're good. So what we got on the stats then? We've got 14 vitality, attunement, endurance 10, strength 10, dexterity 10, resistance 10, intelligence 9, faith 11. So it's not too bad. Quite a lot of vitality, so that's a good thing to have. What? No. Right, what am I? Oh, right, okay. Right, so... oh, I've got to pick a face, apparently. Apparently I can't just let it do its thing, I've got to pick one. What the fuck is that? They really do have freaky-ass faces in this game. Let's just go with Commoner, because she looks reasonably normal. Okay.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. of fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Cool.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Right then, so we are not looking the best. It'll take more than a bit of foundation to clear up. Anyway, so this is the remastered game. It's not too bad, the graphics, I think. A little bit sharper and things. Although it's been a while since I played the original game now, so I'm not sure sort of how bad that was really. I seem to remember the graphics being okay on the original. So, here we are again, back in Dark Souls. Yeah, so I think I know the controls enough not to bother reading all that. Don't think there's any point in killing these little guys. Other than maybe testing, heavy attack, light attack. Do I get any souls for killing these guys? No. Oh, 20 souls. Alright, well let's bump him off then. May as well get our 40 souls if there's a... Okay. 40 measly souls. Right, that is a big-ass demon that we are not going to be fighting until quite a bit later in the game. Does make you wonder if, like, someone's actually employed the demons to keep everybody in here. But seeing as they were talking about corralling the undead in the north, another guy I can get a couple of souls off. Hey, buddy! I know we're all in this together, but I want your souls because, you know, that's how I roll. Right. It's still quite slow. I don't think they've really sped it up at all. It would have been quite nice if they'd sort of upped the speed a bit, like in Dark Souls 3 or something, so it was a bit faster, but I think it's still quite slow. Right. Ta-da. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's really sort of knocking my socks off with the graphics, but it's not unpleasant, it's quite nice. Looks okay, looks good. Not really anything to complain about. That's the first trophy, which is Enkindle, which is light the first bonfire. Okay. So there's various bits and bobs that I want to have a go at, but before we sort of get into the game proper, but we need to get out of the asylum before we do that. So... ah yes, I remember that now. We don't go down there just yet. We go through these big ass doors. And when we do, we will meet a lovely, lovely chappie who we need to run the fuck away from. And I think we're going down there on the left, unless there's one on the right. Yep, there it is. There's a door, and there's the chappie, and there he goes. Okay. Yeah, don't know if you actually got a chance to see him, really. That is the Asylum Demon, which is plodding around by the door there, and we are not fighting him just yet. I mean, we could have a go with this tiny little piece of sword that we've got, but we're not going to, because that would be really, really silly. Okay. Right then. Try and dodge the arrows a bit. Get in here. And I need my shield. And I also need to... weapons. Right. Shield. Out my kite shield. Right, there we go. Good. Shield up. Aha! Can't shoot me now, can you, you prick? Right, now hopefully this is my sword. Yes, it is. Good. So if we just quickly do this... right. Aha! Good. Now one of the downsides to Dark Souls 1 is that, like, going into the inventory and stuff, in fact it might be all the Dark Souls games, doesn't actually pause the game. It just means that you've got an inventory blocking what you're looking at. So through the fog. Shield up, because it's always a good idea. Right. Okay, so that's the courtyard we were just in. Right, we're going that way. We'll just have a quick peek around here first. Yeah, there's that glowy thing. I cannot remember how you get that, if I've ever gotten it. But... I think we go up there, so we might just see if there's a way to get to it. But I don't think there is. Right then. So, you can actually just see it now. There's a blob at the top of the stairs. That is a bloody great big ball, which is going to come down and smash into that wall, and it will smash into us too if we don't get out the bloody way quick. So we just want to go up here and tease it down, and then we follow it through the wall. And an interesting question is, how the fuck did he get in here? Oh, maybe he fell through there. Okay. Hey, buddy.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yep, of course I'll listen to you.
I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Goody.
Oh, and this.
Trophy earned, Estus flask.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Cheery bye. Right, So for anyone who's new to the game, the Estus Flask is what your well, basically your health. And I was just thinking that's quite a... Did he just... Yeah, there we go, he just died. And we just got 100 souls off him. I was thinking it's a weirdly specific and long motto for his family to have. So one of... Well, you can do two things with the combat in this. Well, more than that really, but like one of the basic things is you just sort of hold up the shield and you let them bash you and then you hit them. You can also dodge out of the way and you can sort of circle around them as well. There's a convenient little lock-on thing which I'll try doing in a minute. Now there's a couple of guys around the corner and that's the lock-on thing. Yeah. Right, now I think this is the last... Oh no, there's an archer around the corner, so let's just draw him out a bit. And that's how you backstab the fuckers. Haha, that was good. I think they might have improved the backstab thing in this because I seem to remember it being quite tricky to get it to work in the first Dark Souls, and a lot easier in the sequels. Okay, shield up, shield up. Yeah. Cool. Okay, can't go through there. It's worth remembering that that door exists for later in the game, I think. Right, so this is where we're heading to, the top of that little set of steps. But first we got to go through here. And I am sort of assuming you haven't played the game before, because that's why I'm sort of saying all this crap, but anyway. Right. So there is the Asylum Demon, you drop and attack. And that deals a lovely, lovely bit of damage to the prick. Right. And then... Shit. Okay. Now in this game, the green bar is your stamina. And you want to make sure you got some of that because it goes down when you hit, and it's what you use to hit the enemy with. And Dark Souls, in a nutshell, is basically all about stabbing guys in the arse. So basically our plan of attack here is to stay the fuck behind this big fat demon and keep chopping his arse into little pieces. And he's dead. Fuck you, Asylum Demon. You were pleasantly easy this time. Played this game before. Mwahaha. Right, anyway. So, out we go. As I say, I have played this game before, and I've played the other two games as well, both of which are there's playthroughs of on my channel if you want to check those out. And yeah. So I think this is my first time properly as a knight in Dark Souls 1, but I have played this as a sorcerer all the way through. So, and I've also watched a few videos and things, like when I was trying to find out how to beat the game the first time. So I know a few little bits and bobs that I'll try and point out for anyone who's new to the game or who might not have noticed them before. And yeah. So right, let's carry on. Cue the birdie.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Yep, so we basically just go from the asylum to the hub of the game with the help of our friendly little birdie there. And this is Firelink Shrine. Trophy earned, reach Lordran. Okay. I'm reading out the trophies because, in case you don't know, for some reason when I'm recording on the PS4, trophies don't actually show up on the recording for some reason, even though they show up on screen. I have no idea why that is. It's very peculiar, but if anyone knows, I'd be interested to find out. Right. So yes, this is Firelink Shrine. There are, I think 4 or 5 different routes out of this area. There is the path up the hill over there. There is another path down here, which I think the first time I played I spent ages not realising was there, because it's quite easy to miss. If you just sort of glance at this, it just looks like it's just a wall, but actually there's a little path down there. Let's see, there's another one a bit further over there, which I'll show you. It's actually 3 over there, one of which leads to a dead end, and 2 more which lead to other parts of the game, one of which, well, 2 of which are locked at the moment. Right, anyway, let's talk to this prick.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Yeah, I think something they could have done to improve a bit would be the volume on the NPCs, because he does sort of whisper a bit. Now, you can kill this guy if you want, and you can sort of fight him basically just by attacking him. It's not really a good idea at this stage of the game, because he's sort of fairly tough when you're low level. And, yeah, I found that out to my cost in one attempt at playing this game early on. And basically, if you attack him and you die, he stays active. So every time you respawn at this bonfire, he comes and attacks you. I think he actually follows you for quite a distance as well if you try and run away, so he is a bit of a bugger. Right, so we're going to have a little bit of an explore around Firelink. There's a few goodies that we can get, and I can point out a couple of the areas, not the areas, like the routes to the areas that are around here. Right, so one of the areas is actually under the water, and we can't go to it yet, but it is in fact down there. And this is a mysterious chest which something happens. I can't remember what it is now, but I think if you lose a particular item during the game, it will actually reappear in this chest, but I can't remember what the hell it is now, which is a bit of a bugger. Right, so we've got a nice twinkly up there, so we need to be climbing this set of ruins, amongst other things. Ooh, there's a twinkly around the corner there. Soul of Lost Undead. They're always worth having. Right, now then, that graveyard is one of the areas which is, well, let's just have a quick peek. Right, I think I'm going to drop down there and maybe grab that twinkly. Once you go down there, there's skeletons which will rise up and attack you. One of the things you can do is basically run through there, and you can pick up as much as you can and then run back. because the skeletons will respawn. Like, you can kill them, sort of, but they don't properly die, they get back up again. Which is an absolute drag. If you continue through the graveyard, though, there is a path down into the catacombs, which is where you are supposed to go quite a bit later in the game, really, although you can, if you're good at running past enemies, go down there a bit earlier and do a couple of things. One of the things you can do down there is you can go through this little routine, and you get I think it's the Grave Lord's sword, something like that. It's the fancy sword that you see Nito carrying at in the cutscene at the beginning of the game. I think that's it for there. Right. So I think we'll go around the other side now. So that's something that can be done, and which I might do in a little bit. But first I'm just going to finish these little bits in Firelink, and then I think we might head down the route that I showed you that's sort of hidden by the wall. There is a twinkly around here somewhere. I think it's along at the end of this. Yeah, there we are. Firebombs. Nice. I like firebombs. In fact, I should probably equip them, really. Right, so let's get another one in there. Yes, good, okay. Yeah, there we go, good, okay. So, here we have Snooty Fatty Man, who I think all he does is let you join a covenant, which we don't really want to, but we'll just sort of say hello anyway. They picked out the detail on the shields and things a bit better in this one, I think. Like, some of the fine detail on the armour, I think, is picked out a bit clearer. But anyway.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Who's us? Well, actually, we find that out later, but...
I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance. But I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Cheers, dude. Some random piece of coinage. Now, annoyingly enough, I don't think there's actually any of these sort of destructible bits of scenery that actually have, like, goodies inside them. You'd sort of think they would have, but they don't seem to. So, on up the steps. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe.